Legon or Gael, Congosh no still, Legon Escrilt, Fulaward Nabiler, Charlotte Connick, Aron Nabi.
And a very good afternoon, everybody watching in at home on Lou TV. Yes, the biggest weekend here on Lou TV, the championship final weekend. We had two finals, of course, yesterday here in Darver. Success for Naomh Finbarra in the junior final, and last night for St Bride's at intermediate level. Today, later on, it is senior final day. Naomh Martin against St Mary's, but all eyes here on the minor final. The under-18s here enjoying their biggest day of the year. It's Cooley Kickham's Cuchulainn Gaels up against another combination side, St Kevin's St Michael's. We're almost ready for the throw-in. I can tell you that there are no late changes on either team. The sides are lining out as per programme and as listed. Noel Hand of RD St Mary's is today's referee, and conditions, well, you couldn't have hoped for a better day really in the third, fourth week of September. Absolutely beautiful, slight breeze blowing, not as strong as yesterday, and it's quite warm here at the moment. And as I say, conditions absolutely ideal here in Darver. The minimum amount of supporters here as well, and just for anybody watching into the minor final and may not have a ticket and intended coming up here for the senior final, well, the advice from the Louth County Board is don't travel unless you have a ticket. Referee Noel Hand throws the ball in, so we're underway here. The Larry Murray Cup up for grabs here for both these teams. We'll be hearing from our co-commentator very shortly, Clonagale joint manager for this season, an underage coach, well-known underage coach, Carl O'Connor. Carl, who would have coached a lot of these fellas at underage level, so he's fairly familiar with them. But straight away, Cooley coming on the attack. Cooley coming off the back of under 16 and under 17 wins in recent seasons, probably going into this game as favourites. The ball played forward now, first opportunity perhaps now about to present itself to Cooley. Man coming on to the ball is our wing forward, and that's a fine effort, and it's swung over the crossbar, and it's Cian Connor who's got the opening score of the match. And early stages, Cooley from their first attack of the game managed to land that score, so the men from the peninsula here with an early point from Cian Connor, and it's 1 point to no score. Carl, you'll be familiar with a lot of these lads. As I say, Cooley probably starting the game as slight favourites, would you say? Slight favourites, probably, Colin. Yeah, look, I think you look at the quality of players on both sides, and you see some big names on the Kevin side, on Kevin St Michael's side, and chance. Yeah, here's could be an opportunity here now of another Cooley score. It's sent across. The full forward has it now. Could be a chance of a goal. Oh, great save by the goalkeeper. The man who had the chance was Dylan Quinn, but a fine save by Caelan McMullen, the Kevin's player, in between the posts. And St Kevin's, well, they're yet to settle in this game, and they really let off with them there close to their own goal. The man who had the chance was Dylan Quinn, but it has been kept out of the back of the net by Caelan McMullen, but it has gone at the expense of 45. So Cooley really pushing forward here, Carol. They're obviously looking to try and build up this early lead, and probably perhaps well, I wouldn't say a winning lead, but certainly put themselves in a strong position early on in this game. So here comes the 45 for Cooley Kickham's. They are amalgamated with Cuchulainn Gaels. Cuchulainn have two of their players in the starting 15. That one swung in, and that's deadly accurate. That's a great score. The 45 sent over the bar. So Cooley Kickham's adding to their lead, and it is that man who got the opening score, Cian Connor, who converts the 45. So it's Cooley 2 points and Kevin's no score. Excellent score, excellent 45. Yeah, Thomas, I think actually this is the start of the Cooley Cubs as they were known 12 or 13 years ago. This is the first team from that, so they'll be hoping to win the championship obviously today, but a lot of work has gone into this underage team and teams before it, obviously after this, over the last 10 years or so. Yeah, certainly a lot of great work being done by the Cooley club at underage level, and they will be hoping obviously that those players through time will come through. They did win back-to-back minors in 2005 and 2006, and unfortunately for Cooley that didn't really filter through then at senior level, at adult level, but now they have another free, and this is another opportunity for them to extend their lead here in the early stages, and it's that man Cian Connor who's got it once again. Here he comes now. He's going to take the short one this time down towards that full forward. The man who has it now in fact is Enda O'Neill. Enda O'Neill swings this one in and swings it over the crossbar, and Enda O'Neill extending Cooley's lead here, all one-way traffic in the early stages. And well, obviously Cooley's motto here is to hit the ground running and build up that early lead, Carol, and maybe put the game as much to bed as they can if possible at an early stage. Yeah, excellent right-footed strike there from Enda O'Neill. Quality footballer. I was lucky enough to work with him with the Louth Minors last year. Comes from a good footballing family with Owen the physio as his father. Good lad, Enda, but yeah, Cooley started like a house on fire here, Colin, and look,
early days. The game still needs to settle, but still all to play for.
Yeah, well, the signs here a bit ominous here for St. Michael's St. Kevin's at the moment. Let's see what happens, and referee blows his whistle, and that'll just relieve a little bit of the pressure there, but it's been all one-way traffic here in the early stages. Cooley really dominant in the first 3-4 minutes of this game. 3 points already on the board. Can the Kevins now respond? That's a long ball floated down drops over the head of one of the Kevins players. He's coming onto it now. Man in possession. It's the wing forward. It's Tom Matthews, one of the danger men in this attack. He's a Kevins man. Flicks that ball inside. Good interception though, and Cooley cut that one out deep in their own defence. That ball cleared out towards that far side of the field, and a chance now for Cooley to mount attack, a counter attack over on that far side. Beautiful afternoon, sunny afternoon here. Conditions absolutely perfect here for this minor final. It's Thomas McCarroher now getting his foot under this ball. Great Cooley name, of course, the McCarrohers down through the years. Ball sent in towards the centre. Here's Cormac Malone. Cormac Malone now, support coming again from Keane Connor. There's another opportunity of a score. This one is sent in, and this one is sent over the crossbar. Another score for Cooley, and they're beginning really to mount up the points now, and it's that man Keane Connor once again. That's his third point. He's got 3 of the first 4 scores in the game. 5 minutes gone here, and that all started at the other end of the field. That's St. Kevin's move, which broke down. Tom Matthews in possession, lost out in the end. Cooley swiftly moving the ball up the field, and we've a score at the other end, Carol.
Yeah, that's a fantastic start for Keane Connor. 3 points, I think 3 shots, 3 scores. Fantastic start for Keane Connor and Cooley.
Absolutely. Well, Cooley at the moment here are enjoying a good spell. 4 points to no score. St. Kevin's won't want that lead to increase much more for Cooley. Otherwise it'll be a very, very tall order for them to try and come back from this, but a long way to go yet in this final. But Cooley look pretty focused, look fairly assertive in the early stages. Man in possession now is Conor McAvaney. He's the full back coming out with the ball up over the 65-metre line. Cooley coming on the attack. They win the free. Challenge going in late on, and Cormac Malone is going to leave it, and the man that's going to take it on is going to be Enda O'Neill. So Enda O'Neill, that just injury. The man down on the ground is Paul Brennan, one of the Cuchulainn Gales players, up on his feet quickly though, and it's a yellow card for the offending player. That's the Kevin's man, and it's Josh Finley, the man who's got his name taken. The Kevin's accounting for most of the starting 15 here. The bulk of players are Kevin's players. The team manager Jerry Murray has 3 sons in the starting 15. Also so well-known names: Harry Butterley, son of former Stabannon and County star Pat, and also Sean Reynolds in the starting lineup. Jerry, of course, his father would have won 4 senior championship medals with Stabannon back in the glory days of the 1990s. The ball now out towards this left-hand side. The man that's going to take this free on is Enda O'Neill. So 4 points to no score. 6.5 minutes gone in the opening half. And can Cooley, well, they've scored every chance that has come their way so far. That's floated in by O'Neill. It's dropping dangerously in, and it drops over the top of the net and over the crossbar. Another score for Cooley, and Enda O'Neill this time out on the left hand side. This will do these lads' conference the world of good when you can score like that in the early stages of a game. Fellas can use confidence, Carl, and dropping over the crossbar. 5 points to no score all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a fantastic a fantastic score from Enda O'Neill there, Colin. Lovely right-footed strike. Look, like you said, there's only about 10 minutes gone maybe in the game so far. I think Cooley just need to be very, very careful that not to get their tails up too high. That the Kevins have a deadly attacking force, and they'd be lucky not to concede a possible goal in the threat with Tom Matthews here. I think they can't put the tails up, and they need to just be mindful of that, Colin.
Yeah, well, at some stage you would imagine the Kevins Michaels will get a purple patch. It's no sign of it coming just yet though, but they have a free now on the far side of the field. So we've had 3 scores from Keane Connor, Enda O'Neill with 2, and all looking pretty good here for Cooley in the early stages. 5 points to no score. So let's see now from this free far side of the field, can the Kevins combination, can they get on the score sheet? They need a score just to try and get themselves settled down a bit, because they have really been playing second fiddle. It's been all Cooley here, one-way traffic in the early stages. That one sent in, and that's a fine effort far side on the left hand side. A great score for the Kevins combination. We check just to see who has got that point for them, that free. And it looks as if it's Harry Butterley. Harry Butterley from Stabannon has got the score. Harry Butterley with the point. That makes it 5 points to 1. So it's taken the Kevins Michaels 8 minutes to get their opening score. But they've got it. Ball dropping now just over the 65-metre line. And can the Kevins now take a bit of inspiration from that point? Here's Jamie Dornan, the John Mitchell's man, also part of this combination team. Now picking it up here is Cameron Moore of St. Kevin's, far side of the field. They clearly trying to intercept that with Gerard Hannon, couldn't get his hand to it though. And now St. Kevin's coming forward now once again. Ball far side of the field. It's Sean Reynolds now with this ball. Plays it back, finding Harry Butterley. Wants to ban and man to another. Harry Butterley now just thought about going for the pass, still soloing forward. Has to go back ways with it. Cooley now just getting numbers behind the ball here inside their own 45-metre line, but it's still Kevin's who come on the attack. That ball a little bit too much on it though, and it's comfortably dealt with by the Cooley goalkeeper Niall Brady. Niall Brady now finding a man on this near side. That's Ronan McBride who has it. Inside it goes. Cooley leading by 5 points to 1. Challenge going in there on Ronan McBride. He gets us free. It's a full back, in fact, Conor McAviney. That one played in towards the centre. Cooley now coming in the attack. And the man who has it now, that ball played forward, knocked away though, and good defending by the Kevin's full back coming out with it here. Referee holds his hand up and towards the free. So that a move for Cooley amounting to nothing, and it's intercepted, and the Kevins have possession back, far side of the field. Yes, last year's championship winners were Naomh Martin. Naomh Martin collecting the honours at minor level last year. And looking back on the previous wins, well, Cooley's last minor championship was back in 2006. That was back-to-back. In fact, they also won it the year before. Also winners in 98, 84, 79, 71, 68. So they've enjoyed a fair amount of underage success over the years. Some of those players that would have featured in those championship wins would have went on at senior level to win Joe Wards. So there's Cooley seeking their 8th minor title today. Well, their first is an amalgamation. That ball sent forward and sent in, and that's a great score out on that left hand side. Terrific score, and the man who has got it looks as if it's Harry Butterley again. We'll just check on that in a second. And that's a great score out in that left, and Harry Butterley, the man who has got the point, that makes it now 5 points to 2. So it's down to a 3-point game, Carl, and the Kevins are now beginning to settle a bit.
Yeah, exactly, Colin. I think they have settled into the game now a small bit. They're winning the breaking ball, they're contesting the kickouts and getting a wee bit of joy. Evan Maher stepping up in the centre for them, is on the ball now. I think the game is settling a small bit, and again I think we've a real game on now.
Now here's Sean Reynolds now looking for a bit of an angle for himself. Oh, the goalkeeper had to get a touch on that one, and that's gone for a 45, and it was Reynolds with the opportunity. Goalkeeper couldn't afford to take any chances there. That could have easily rested in the top corner of the net. He got a touch on it though, and it's a 45. So only 3 points between them, and St. Kevin's, in fairness to them, they haven't let the heads drop. They're just gradually getting back into it here. 5 points to 2 with just over 11 minutes gone in this opening half. So we have the 45 now coming up for the combination team. So for the Kevins, both these teams coming in with unbeaten records. They played plenty of group matches earlier on. There was 5 group games indeed. The Kevins did get a walkover in one of the fixtures from Maddock Hunterstown, but they beat Kilkerley Malachy's in their opening game. Then there was that walkover. They beat the Geraldines then in the next match. Roach Emmets followed, and then the Joes Moctus beating them 4-9 to 2-14. And then the semi-final, they overcame the O'Rahillys 1-16 to 1-9. And for Cooley, they had wins over the Marys, Naomh Martin. They drew at the O'Rahillys, then followed that up with victory over the Hill O'Mahony's Piercy combination. Then they beat St. Pat's. Here's the 45 now coming. It's floated in, but that is off target on this occasion from Harry Butterley. Or in fact, it's still in play. Thought it was gone out of play. Oh, and it's the goalkeeper takes off the save, and it's gone for another 45. I thought for a second it was out of play, but it comes back, and it was Evan Maher with the opportunity of the goal. But it was a good save from goalkeeper Niall Brady, again doing his job, and it's gone out for a 45. So another opportunity here for Harry Butterley to send this one over and make it just a 2-point game. So Butterley now once more. So an opportunity now of another score here. Again, another scoring opportunity for the Kevins. Michael's combination, 12.5 minutes gone in the opening half. So let's see if this is on target from Butterley. That one floated in again, and this one is going left and wide on this occasion. Well, it had the distance on this occasion, but didn't have the accuracy. It goes down as the Kevins' first wide. So it stays Cooley Cullen Gales 5 points, the Kevins Michaels 2 points, Carol.
Yeah, fantastic save there, Colin, by Niall Brady. Niall's a quality goalkeeper. We're lucky enough to work with him with the Loud Miners in the Loud Schools combination last year. But yeah, look, you look at Evan Maher as well. Evan has the ability to cause a bit of trouble for the Kevins Michaels, and the game, like we said, the game is settled a small bit. So just hopefully now that it'll stay nice and tight, and we'll have a good game for the next 45 minutes or so.
Yes, well here Cooley coming on the attack down towards the corner. That ball sent in, a dangerous ball, but it's cut out again by the Kevins defence, and you just feel they're growing in confidence now about the Kevins. They have it now just inside their own 45-metre line. Have to be careful now not to give away the free. Man in possession is Josh Finlay, does well, finds his fellow midfielder Evan Marr, and now slowly but surely they're building this attack. Ball played up towards that far side of the field, inside the 65-metre line. So St Kevins now coming on the attack, just 3 points still in arrears here, but it's certainly not a lost cause at this early stage of the game. Cooley, though, a little bit earlier on, finding their scores easier to come by, but the Kevins certainly getting their hands much more on the ball than what was the case in the first 5 minutes, and they have it now once more. Jamie Dornan now in possession. Referee signals that that's a foul. It was Sean Reynolds, the man in possession, and another free now for St Kevins, and it's going to be Harry Butterley again coming over to take this one. So his team still 3 points in arrears. Of course, later on we have the senior final. 4:30 is the starting time. The clash of Naomh Máirtín and RD St Mary's, and what a game we have in prospect at senior level later on. And but here it's all about the minor at the moment, and who will be picking up that Larry Murray Cup a little bit later on this afternoon. So let's see now with this free from Harry Butterley off the ground. Good connection with it, dropping in, and again the goalkeeper Niall Brady had to get his paws to that one. Does well, keeps it in play on this occasion. Ronan McBride now has it, sending it in towards the centre, and that's certainly a foul. And the St Kevins give away the free. The man Cormac Rogers that fouled his man, it's going to be a free out for Cooley. Yeah, but you certainly sense the Kevins as the game is progressing, but they're not just getting their scores, certainly not as easy as Cooley were getting him in the first few minutes, Carol, and that would be a little bit of a concern, but it's only a 3-point game.
That's it, Colin, one score, really, when you look at it. Cooley look a wee bit more calmer on the ball at the minute. I think when you look at the age profiles of some of the guys, albeit it's minor level, but a lot of the Cooley footballers are all 18, and we've there's a few young lads on the Kevins Michaels panel, you know, and so, you know, maybe a small bit of I don't know if you want to call it experience or not, but might stand the Cooley going forward. Yeah, here's Endo O'Neill now lining up this free. It was Thomas McCarroll, the man that was fouled, looking for options. He's going to go back ways with it. Took a little bit of a risk with that pass, but gets away with it. Gets the return pass now, Endo O'Neill, up over the 45-metre line. Man in support here is that man, Cian Connor. Cian Connor sends it in, and that one has gone left and wide. Cooley's first wide of the afternoon. So, and that is 16 minutes gone. It is the first water break of the afternoon. So with that wide from Cian Connor here at the end of the opening quarter, it's Cooley leading by 5 points to 2, hitting the ground running. Cooley really very strong in those early stages. Cian Connor with the opening 2 scores in the first couple of minutes. The first one arriving in the first minute, followed then by his 45, an excellent score. Endo O'Neill then making it 3 points to no score before Connor got his 3rd point of the afternoon 5 minutes in. Then we had Endo O'Neill's free, and at that stage Cooley really coasting, leading by 5 points to no score. But slowly but surely the Kevins worked their way back into it. Harry Butterley with his team's opening score on 8 minutes, that free out on the left hand side, and then the same player 2 minutes later. But the Kevins, they have missed a couple of opportunities as well, but it's somewhat game back on, Carol, but Cooley, as you say, probably looking a bit more composed, but the Kevins have certainly come into it much more than what was the case in the first few minutes, and those couple of Harry Butterley scores would have settled them down a bit. What's your reading of it now overall? Yeah, obviously it's Cooley are looking like the more settled team in the first 15 minutes, Colin. But when you look at even the junior game yesterday, the junior final, football's a crazy game. You know, a goal now, we've a draw game. It's you know, I don't think we can say too much about it at the minute, to be honest, but I feel that the Kevins just settle a small bit more. They definitely have the attacking threat in Tom Matthews up there to cause Cooley problems, and we probably just haven't seen it as much as the Kevins would have liked in the first 15. Okay, we're ready to resume now with this kick out from the Kevins goalkeeper, Caelan McMullen, one of the Kevins players in this team. They have, as I say, the bulk of in the starting lineup, the Kevins club. Ball now at the centre of the field, and it was Evan Marr did well to hold on to possession, plays that ball forward down towards that corner again, just over the 45-metre line, and it's another free won by the Kevins. And Harry Butterley coming over now again to take this one.
This one just inside the 45-metre line. He's had a couple of opportunities from these positions, and will be anxious now to get another one on the board. He's got the last 2 scores of the game, so let's see now if he can land this one and put just 2 points between the sides. So here he comes now, off the ground again, right footed. This one floated in again, and this one is off target once more. That's another wide. That's their second successive wide. Harry Butterley's free is just off target again, so it remains 5 points to 2. 19 minutes exactly gone in this opening half, and a few Cooley supporters just down to our left and right here, and also the Kevins and the Michaels and Stebanen represented over on the other side of the field, but obviously a big limit on the amount of people that can attend the matches here this weekend at Darver. Difficult for fans to be missing out here, seeing their local teams and their players in action, but they are the rules. Ball now in Cooley's hands, coming soloing forward with it here. It's Paul Brennan, has support now from Enda O'Neill. Enda O'Neill now goes for that far-sided pass over towards Michael John Hanlon. Hanlon now under a bit of pressure, plays it down towards the corner. It's Dylan Quinn now has it. Dylan Quinn now just holding it up, flicks it inside. Could be an opportunity on here. It's Thomas McCarroll in possession. That ball sent in, and this one has gone left and wide. So accuracy letting both teams down here in the last few minutes. Cooley second wide of the afternoon. So after starting out with a flourish in this game, Cooley dominant in the early stages. It's certainly been much more of an even contest now for the last few minutes. But Cooley still have their 5 points to 2 lead. But they have gone now at this stage. They've gone 13 minutes without a score, Cooley. Ball now breaking, just man struggling to get his boot underneath that, and the Kevins breaking away from that situation. They've got a free as well. Man who was fouled was Harry Butterley. Taken quickly, but not from where the foul was committed. Noel Hand has blown his whistle, and it's going to have to be called back. So it's going to have to be retaken now by the Kevins combination. Yes, we've had a lot of good minor finals over the years, a lot of standout performances as well from certain players. Certainly 2011, I remember well, Cathal McKenna from St. Bride's, what a performance from him that day. 10 points I remember he got. The Brides going on, of course, to contest the intermediate final 2 years later. What a weekend it's been for the Brides, and that one is sent in and sent over the crossbar. Back to the play, and it's Tom Matthews with his first score of the afternoon. One of those forwards in this Kevins attack who can cause serious bother to an opposition defence, and that's an indication there of what he's capable of. 5 points to 3. It's down to a 2-point game. 21 minutes gone in this opening half, and slowly but surely now the gap is closing. Here's Noel Hand now blowing his whistle. It's another free, one this time by Ronan McBride. Yeah, we mentioned some of those earlier, those recent finals, and of course Jonathan Cummins in 2016 for RD St Mary's. 2 goals on 13. I think it was something like a record at minor level in a minor final to contribute at such a personal tally. There are 2 performances in the last decade that certainly stand out. Cathal McKenna for the Brides in 11, and 5 years later then Jonathan Cummins. Jonathan, of course, who will be part of the RD St Mary's senior panel for the later game here in Darver. Ball now up in that corner. Cooley managed to keep it in play. This could be danger now for the Kevins. Played back, could be an opportunity. That one is smothered and it's blocked down, but it's been dealt with by the Kevins fullback Brian Callan. Gets his free as well. Referee blows his whistle, and Evan Marr now bringing it forward, looking to get on with it quickly, but it's going to be left in fact now to, I think Cameron Marr is going to take it. So a free out for the Kevins combination. Ball on the far side of the field. Now, what can St Kevins do with this one? That one ball flicked inside. Evan Marr now coming on to this one, down that far side of the field, flicked inside. Couple of players now looking to get their hands on it. One of those is Evan Marr. Plays it down, but played it into space, and that's easily cut out by the Cooley defence. A little bit rushed perhaps, that didn't pick out one of his men, and Cooley have turned it over. The ball now breaking near side of the field, and a tug on the jersey there by the Cooley man, and it was Callum O'Hanlon who lost out there in that situation. He gives away the free, so it's going to be a free out which Daniel O'Connell will take. So Daniel O'Connell now about to take this free for his team. They're still leading, but it's not as comfortable as it was earlier. Poor free, and it's intercepted by Michael John Hanlon. Inside now it goes to Callum O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon now trying to take this one on, plays it back along the ground. Not a good ball though, and it's cut out again by the Kevins defence, and they get away with it on this occasion. Coming out with it still the Kevins breaking out of defence, and it's Josh Finlay I think has got the free as well. Just for a moment there Cooley had an opportunity perhaps of a goal scoring opportunity, didn't come off with them though, and now another free given away by Cooley. And a free for St. Kevin's. The man that's going to take it here is Josh Finlay. Plays it short, back to his own 45-metre line. Waiting for that pass was Cameron Marr. So, 5 points to 3. We have 23 minutes gone in this opening half. Here's that man, Harry Butterley again. Butterley now in towards the centre, picking out Josh Finlay. Back it goes again. Butterley drops to the ground. Off the ball. Evan Marr now in possession. Chips that ball over towards that far side, but it's intercepted again by the Cooley defence. And coming away with it now, far side, it's Gerard Hanlon. Gerard Hanlon now under a bit of pressure. Has a man inside him. The man being Thomas McCarra, and he's brought to ground. That's going to be a free in, and it's going to be a ward as well, I think, for Josh Finlay. Referee calling him over. Challenge going in, and not to the referee's liking. And he's going to call the big midfielder over. And this is going to be, looks as if it's going to be a card for the midfielder. And Keane Connor going over to retrieve this ball, and he's the man that's going to take on the free, and it is a yellow card. So it's Keane Connor now, already contributing 3 points so far in this first half. But it's been a while. Well, the Cooley haven't scored since the 7th minute, and we're now in the last 6 minutes of this first half, so they could badly do with a score, Cooley, after that very bright opening to the game. So it's Keane Connor now with this one. Let's see now if he can land this one on target. Taking his time about it, wants to make sure he gets it right. Little bit of a routine run up to it, left footed from Connor, sending it in, and it's tipped over the crossbar by the goalkeeper Caelan McMullen, and it's another one for Keane Connor. And Carl, 6 points to 3. It's double scores, but that's one Cooley badly needed.
Yeah, for sure, Colin. You mentioned a few times there that they haven't scored since that 7th minute, but I suppose just a wee bit of appreciation to Keane Connor. I think Keane has taken 4 shots and has scored 4 points. Very accurate and standing out so far on the Cooley side.
Yes, here's Harry Butterley now with his hands on it for St. Kevin's. In towards the centre it goes. So the Kevin's now coming on the attack from that kick out. Man in possession now is Sean Reynolds. Sean Reynolds manages to ride the tackle, sent it in. Oh, the goalkeeper, and it's in the back of the net. The touch has come on it. Reynolds with the long ball in, and it's ended up in the back of the net. And the man who has got the goal, it's their wing forward, it's Tom Matthews has got the goal. Tom Matthews has scored it. And a goal, something I think might have happened off the ball. There's a Kevin's player now down on the ground, but the long ball was sent in by Sean Reynolds. Tom Matthews got the touch ahead of goalkeeper Niall Brady, and the ball has ended up in the back of the net, and that has drawn the game up here. It's 1-3 for the Kevins. It's 6 points for Cooley. A draw match all of a sudden. We mentioned the effects a goal may have had earlier on, Carl, and it's the Kevins who have got it.
Yeah, and you know, it's that man again, Tom Matthews, we spoke about. Tom has come up through the academy squads here in Dov over the last 3 or 4 years, and very talented footballer and deadly accurate. And I know it was a bit of a 50-50 and a bit of a hand slap into the net there against Niall Brady, but there you go, just in the blink of an eye, Colin, we have a draw game. Absolutely.
Well, Tom Matthews has drawn it up here, and after Cooley having opened up that 5-point lead early on in the opening 7 minutes of the game, we thought maybe they were going to run away with it at that stage, the way it was shaping up, but the Kevins have worked themselves back into it, and now they've scored the goal, the all-important goal from Tom Matthews, getting it ahead of the goalkeeper, getting a hand on the ball, putting it in the back of the net. They all count, and now Cooley now trying to work this ball out of defence. The man who has won the free is Ronan McBride. Just a little bit of touchiness now creeping into the game as well. A few players, just handbag stuff going on here just down in front of us. Noel Hand now is blowing his whistle, and I think he's going to throw it up. In fact, so Cooley have lost the free at the end of all that, so it's going to be a hot ball. We have 27.5 minutes gone in the opening half. It's all square. 1 goal and 3 for the Kevins Michaels combination. 6 points for Cooley Cuchulainn Gales. Noel Hand throws the ball up. Well contested there. It was Josh Finlay who got his fist in it, but Cooley from that breaking ball have got possession back. Ball played up towards the centre of the field. The hand coming on it from Keane Connor. Offloads it quickly. Here's Michael John Hanlon coming forward with it now. Sends the long ball up, looking for one of his forwards. So just for a second there, Keelan Marwell, he had to get his composure back pretty quickly to gather that one. And now a little bit of a spring in the step here of the Kevins combination. That goal has certainly inspired them a bit. They're coming forward now once again. It's Sean Reynolds in possession. Sean Reynolds now just outside the 45-metre line, looking for support. Referee blows his whistle, and he's called play back, and he's called it back for a Kevins free. Didn't play the advantage. He blows his whistle, and it's taken quickly, and it's Josh Finlay now in possession. So here come the Kevins now once more. That ball sent down through the middle. And another opportunity on here, and it's the goal scorer Tom Matthews got in ahead of his man, but the accuracy on this occasion letting him down a bit. It's the Kevin's third wide, but on the scoreboard they are level, and certainly after 7 or 8 minutes of the game, if you told them they were going to be level before half time, Carl, they certainly would have taken that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, Colin, without a doubt. It's just it's fascinating looking at it, how a goal or actually transforms a game. And now you look at the game here, and the Kevins seem to have their tails up and look like the better side in it. All the breaks and everything else is going their way.
Yeah, Sean Reynolds now trying to barge past his man and gets us free of Thomas McCarroll. Free, then another free for St. Kevin's. They're really enjoying this purple patch here at the moment, and they've got, with most of the last scores, they've outscored their opponents 1-4 to a point since the 8th minute of this first half. So a draw game now. Can they get their noses in front? I wonder. That ball sent in, not the best of deliveries in though, and it's intercepted by Ronan McBride. Referee blows his whistle. McBride gets his free out, but Cooley have certainly now, they know they're in a battle after that very, very bright opening to the game. Now, can they perhaps finish this first half with a score or two? They're coming on the attack, getting the return pass here. Keane Connor sending that ball into space. Well, it goes over the head there in the end of Aaron Dunn, and it's a Cooley man trying to pick it up now. It's Callum O'Hanlon, far side of the field, does well, holds his ground, looking for support. Now, thinking about going for the pass, uses Enda O'Neill. O'Neill now in a good position, has a look up at the post. He's going to go for the score. Enda O'Neill sending it in, floating in, and Enda O'Neill with an excellent score for Cooley. And that is a tremendous score from Enda O'Neill. Had a bit of space, took it on the responsibility himself on the 45-metre line, sends it over the crossbar. Cooley back in front, Carl.
Yeah, that's a fantastic strike from Enda. Enda has that in the locker, no doubt about it. Again, lucky enough to work with that player. And I'm sure his dad on the sideline here, Owen, will be very, very proud of that score.
Yes, Owen, who's been involved with the last number of this team, indeed, under 17 level last year. That ball floated in again. Dangerous looking ball. Good catch it was. Referee has blown his whistle, but I think he's allowed play continue. He has, and it's a goal. Callum O'Hanlon has rolled it into the back of the net, left footed. It's a Cooley goal. Callum O'Hanlon has found the back of the net, and Cooley have got their first game of the first goal of the afternoon, and it's that man Callum O'Hanlon who has scored it, and that one taken well, used the left foot into the bottom corner of the net, and Callum O'Hanlon just before half time here. We're in the first minute of injury time, and the game has turned back in favour of Cooley again. It's 1-7 to 1-3. Well, how goals can change matches, how scores can change matches. We saw that yesterday with the junior final, and now Cooley are finishing this half with a flourish, but that's a wasted opportunity. Enda O'Neill puts that one badly right and wide, but Callum O'Hanlon with the goal after 31 minutes of play, just when we thought Cooley were on the rack a bit after conceding the goal at the other end from Tom Matthews to come up the other end, Carl, and get a point, and then bury the ball in the back of the net.
I think the Kevins Michaels will be slightly disappointed with conceding that one, Colin. I kind of come out of nowhere, and again they'll have to work themselves back into the game now.
2 minutes in additional time to be played. We're already almost into the second minute of that. We have to take account, of course, of the water break as well. Now it could be a chance on here. Jamie Dornan trying to get his hands on that ball, and he's gone to ground. Jamie Dornan gives away, the Cooley give away the free, and it's going to be free in for the Kevins Michaels combination. So there might be another scoring opportunity just before half time here. But 4 points of a lead now Cooley have it. Surely it's going to be cut to 3 now. Will it be Harry Butterley to take on this? Harry Butterley, you see, has picked up a knock to his hand, and he's going to need a little bit of attention, Harry Butterley. So we're just going to have to wait now. And there looks to be a change perhaps on the Cooley team. Well, they were contemplating a change there. Ewan McMullen, I see, I thought might be coming on, but perhaps not. No, it's just throwing a bottle of water out in the pitch. But Harry Butterley now needing a bit of attention. Not too sure how that injury came about, but he's holding his hand at the moment, Harry Butterley. And a big game player like Butterley, he's been fairly influential so far with those earlier frees. And the Kevins Michaels won't want to be losing his services at this stage of the game. They're 4 points in arrears, remember. The man standing over the ball, meanwhile... Well, is it Harry? It's not actually Harry Butterley. It's another. I'm just trying to pick. It's actually 12. It's Tom Matthews, in fact. Well, another player that's that the Kevins certainly don't want to lose. So it's Matthews. In fact, Butterley is standing over the ball down towards the 13-metre line, and it's Tom Matthews who, in fact, is getting attention here for this injury. So we're now into the third minute of injury time. 1-7 to 1-3. Cooley with their lead back. They were 5 points to no score up, remember, after 7 minutes of play. They threw away that lead. Tom Matthews' goal arriving after 26 minutes, getting in ahead of the goalkeeper, Niall Brady. But parity didn't last all that long. And O'Neill then 4 minutes later with Cooley's lead score, and then Callum O'Hanlon with that Cooley goal after 31 minutes of play. So there will be another bit of time to be added here, because this injury now has resulted in an extra bit of stoppage time. And Tom Matthews just getting his hands strapped up here at the moment, and I think he's okay to resume. Yeah, well, Tom Matthews now just going back to his position. So we are now ready to have this free from young Butterley, Harry Butterley, just to reduce the margin to 3 points. Noel Hand blows a whistle, and this should be fairly straightforward for Harry Butterley. Here he comes now. His team trailing by 4 points. Right footed from Harry Butterley, floats it in, and it's over the crossbar from Harry Butterley. And so it's now 1 goal and 7 to 1 goal and 4. It's a 3 point game here in the run into half time. Almost 35 minutes played, 13 metres out from Harry Butterley. No difficulty for the Stabannon man. So Cooley now coming on the attack from that kick out. They have possession. See Ronan McBride far side of the field. Referee blows his whistle, and that is the half-time whistle on this occasion. No time for no more at the end of the opening half hour or so. Just less than 5 minutes of injury time played. So it is Cooley here with a 3 point lead for themselves. 1 goal and 7 to 1 goal and 4. And, well, a little bit of a curate's egg really here for Cooley. They've mixed the bad with the good really. Carroll having started the game so strongly, building up that early lead. But then they did let their opponents back into it. Oh, in all fairness to the Kevins, they came back very strongly. The goal levelled it up. But Cooley having the better of it then in the run into half time.
Yeah, look, Cooley be obviously happy getting in column. Winning by 3 points, but I'm sure they feel that possibly could have been a few more. The Kevins-Michaels combination, again, well, they're still in the game. It's not all doom and gloom, but I just think they need a star now for the second half. Nobody yet has stood up for them and said, look, I'm going to try and get us over the line. So look, the Kevins need to come back into the game nice and strong. They need a good start to the second half.
Yeah, the start that Cooley made, it was a dream start really. Keane Connor showing up very well, End O'Neill as well, but I suppose at this level as well, teams that start well, it's very difficult to maintain that advantage, isn't it? The opposition at some stage are going to come back into it, you feel?
No doubt, every game the opposition, whoever you're playing, has a purple patch. But I suppose we also have to remember as well that this is a massive occasion for these young lads, and we talk about pressure, and we talk about like putting pressure on lads to win games, and the feeling the pressure and being nervous, etc. And look, hopefully they've all settled, but it's a big day for these guys, and it's definitely going to take someone to stand up from the Kevin side, I think, to get them back in this game. Yeah,
I mean, even though the venue is different, there are only a handful of people here, Carroll, but fellas know it's a minor final. It's still a championship medal at the end of the day, isn't it?
No doubt about it. I'd snatch the hand off you for any sort of championship medal. So without a doubt, this is something that whoever wins this game, or whoever loses the game, even they'll talk about this game for years to come. And I think Maurice Harrison and the club still talking about his Clan Gael minor medal. Right, okay. Without a doubt, this is a massive occasion for these guys, and some of them might not ever play in a championship final again. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's definitely something that could happen. So this is a massive day for these guys.
Just a word from yourself, Carroll, in the senior final later on. Would you like to nail your colours to the mast? Who are you fancying? It looks a very close match-up. It looks on paper a very close one to call. Your own thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be involved in the Lou TV preview on Thursday night, and lucky enough to see a lot of football this year where some people weren't able to get their live column, and I did. I named my colours, albeit that they're same colours. But I tipped Ardee St Mary's before a ball was thrown in. I like their coach. I like Sean Kelly. I think he's a very, very good operator. And Crouchy won't be happy with me saying it, but no, I'm going to stick with the Marys.
Well, I don't think you'd mind too much, because players will always tell you they like to be built up as underdogs. So from that point of view, but the Martins have the Martins have the experience of the last few finals. That's obviously hurting a bit, But Fergal Reel, a man who knows how to get teams across the championship finishing line, from that point of view as well, he'll have them very, very well motivated.
And look, you just look at the programme here in front of us, Colin, and you see the quality of footballer on both sides, both young, both experienced. Footballers everywhere, all over both teams. It's genuinely going to be a very, very exciting game, and I'm looking forward to it without a doubt. And you look at you look at Ronan Carroll and Clarkey, Darren Clark, and you'd love to see those guys win a senior medal. And then you look at the Martin side and JP and Mick Fannin, you'd love to see those guys win a senior medal. So look, as a neutral, it's going to be a great spectacle. I feel hopefully it lives up to it, but I just have a wee feeling for the Mayor. I did from the outset, and I don't think I'm going to change. I just think that have young quality footballers who are definitely going to make a mark on the Louth senior panel for the next 10 years. I feel those minor teams are now coming to the fro. You look at Kiki Keenan, you look at the Gillespies as well. Jacksons, it's really full of quality on both sides. I'm really looking forward to it.
And award on yesterday's two matches, two unbelievable games here. The junior match in particular, the late goal from Owen Osborne, snatching victory for the Finbars. A dream way, I suppose, to win a championship.
Yeah, I think the way the ball fell on the ground, I don't think the Finbars would have wanted anyone else in the ball with Owen's League of Ireland experience and underage FAI international. And it was, it's heartbreaking to lose a game like that, but also fantastic, I'm sure, to win a game in that fashion. But yeah, look, like we spoke about it here, it's goals are can happen in the blink of an eye. And then we look at the intermediate game and obviously Shane Lennon's the games manager here and my boss in Dover, and Sean Han, a colleague as well. And it's not nice to be beaten a final in that fashion. But again, it was just Kilkerley beat 2 in a row. From a Clonagale point of view, I know what it's like to be beaten in finals in successive years, or in
the space of a few years, having a couple of years.
So look, the boys will be hurting today. They'll be hurting yesterday, even they'll be still hurting today. But
at the same time, credit to St Bride's. They came out all guns blazing. A lot of pressure on them because the club have been starved of championship glory. 1967, their last one at junior level. So they've waited so long. A lot of players have gone through the club, players, officials, and have never tasted that moment of championship glory. So I'm sure they rightly celebrated whatever last night.
Yeah. I've seen a few clips on social media anyway, and they got a great welcome back into Knockbridge, and it was fantastic. It was a fantastic performance, Colin, in fairness. Fantastic performance, and Declan McCoy, the Drummond team man, the manager, was he had them well up for that game, as you've seen, and they were very, very well organised and snuffed out Shane and snuffed out Tadhg McEnany and really frustrated Kilkerley, and they really played in that counter attack and were lucky enough they got loads of results from those counters and didn't miss a whole pile. But look, and it was brilliant to see Aaron Hoy put one over the bar, and he actually celebrated, albeit I think it was maybe to put them to 11 or 12 up, but he celebrated as if that was the winning score, because Aaron, we know, is a Louth minor manager currently, and has been a stalwart for Louth and St Bride's over the last few years. So look, it's nice to see a guy like that win a championship.
And another man just from your own club, Clonagale, your predecessor, Mark McCann, overseeing a win for Forkhill the other night in the Armagh Junior Championship.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a replay. I was lucky enough to be at the game last Saturday. We ended up in a draw match, and then again lucky enough to be there on Friday evening to support Mark again, and fantastic performance. Went to extra time, and a nice Forkhill team, and really happy and proud to call Mark a clansman with the way he's looked after that Forkhill team, and delighted from the winning championship as a manager.
Okay, well there you have it. So very busy weekend, not just here in Louth but in other counties as well, and local men doing well elsewhere. Mark McCann there with 4 killing that Armagh Junior Championship replay win on Friday night. Well done to Mark. We're just a few minutes away from getting this second half underway here. This minor final for 2020, the Larry Murray Cup up for grabs here for both these teams. We'll just run you through the starting lineups just in case you didn't get them earlier. Caelan McMullen lining out in goals for the Kevins-Michaels combination. The full back line, Daniel O'Connell, Brian Callahan and Keelan Marr. The half back line, Daniel Clinton, Cameron Marr and Aaron Dunn. At centre field, Evan Marr and Josh Finlay. Then it's Jamie Dornan, Harry Butterley and Tom Matthews. And that full forward line, Cormac Rogers, Brendan Sadler and Sean Reynolds. For Cooley, Niall Brady in goals. Then it's Cathal Malone, Conor McAviney and Ian Arnold. It's Michael John Hanlon, Paul Brennan and Ronan McBride making up the half back line. Cormac Malone and Aaron Carrollin at centre field. Keane Connor, Enda O'Neill and Gerard Hanlon. And then we have Thomas McCarroll, Dylan Quinn and Callum O'Hanlon wearing the number 15 jersey. So hopefully it'll be a second half to remember. We've had some great minor finals over the last number of years. Some very strong teams at underage level, under minor level. The Martins, the Marys in recent times. Joe's also have been fairly prominent. The Brides with a 2011 success. And obviously, Carl, at underage level, from a club point of view, obviously the big hope is that you can keep these fellas together regardless of whether they win the final itself, but to try and keep them together and bring them through then at underage level, that's the real key thing, isn't it? That's the test.
No doubt. I suppose every club will be happy to bring 2 or 3 minors into their senior setups every year. But look, Colin, even just in the county as a whole, there's some very, very talented young footballers in the county, and it's important that us as clubmen continue to try and get the very, very best of them, and continue to try and take them through and introduce them into our senior setups every year.
Okay, well, the teams now are about to resume for the second half. We'll check now in a second to see if there are any line-up changes on either team. But we have half an hour now to decide the destination of the Minor Championship Trophy for 2020. So 1 goal and 7 for the Cooley-Cuchulainn Gales side, 1 goal and 4 for the Kevins-Michaels. That's Cooley goal coming just before half-time from Callum O'Hanlon. Harry Butterley responding with the last score just 4 minutes into injury time. And referee Noel Hand now almost ready to get things underway, and having just a word with one of the Cooley officials. So just looking around the field, Carl, don't think there are any changes. The subs now just making their way back off the field. So we're almost good to go. 4:30, remember, is the starting time for the senior final. That'll be live on Louth TV, of course, and also on LMFM radio during Sunday Sport. So Noel Hand now. Kevin Levins, the linesman on this near side of the field for the second half, and he's ready to throw the ball in, and we're underway. So 3 the difference here at the break, and Cooley looking to start the second half like they started the first and ended the first indeed. Ball now played up towards that down towards this corner. Man in possession now is Gerard Hanlon, floats this ball in, and that's one looking good, but it's a little bit short from Hanlon on this occasion. Goalkeeper under a bit of pressure to try and get that one clear. The referee has blown his whistle. Caelan McMullen gets the free out. It's going to be taken out instead by, looks like, Brian Callahan. Ball now dropping far side of the field, so St Kevin's have to do it all over again, having drawn the game, got it back to parity. Was the goal that they scored from Tom Matthews, but they're now trailing by 3 again. That ball played into the path here of Aaron Dunn, giving chase after. Did he foul his man? He did. He left his hand in. It's going to be a Cooley free, taken quickly by Ian Arnold. Cooley now anxious to move this one at pace. It's Enda O'Neill in possession. Enda O'Neill now coming forward with it, 40 metres out from the post, fancies his chances, but again sliced his kick and has pulled it badly right and wide. First opportunity of the second half, it's a wide for Cooley. It stays 1 goal and 7 to 1 goal and 4. And a few black and red flags over that far side. Kevin supporters, 1 or 2 other colours as well. As I say, numbers strictly limited here for both games. Ball dropping now from that kick out. It's Cooley who have it through Enda O'Neill once more. Enda O'Neill picking out Gerard Hanlon in towards the centre, towards Keane Connor. Keane Connor now facing that ball forward. Runs in nicely. This could be an opportunity on here now. It looks like Dylan Quinn. Referee has blown his whistle. There's a tug on Dylan Quinn's jersey. That's going to be a free in, and an opportunity now for Cooley to extend their lead to 4 points again. And it's going to be that man Keane Connor who's about to take this free. The man so influential in the first half. Just a change on Cooley. 18 I see has come on. That is Cian Murphy, and the man that's gone off is Thomas McCarroll. So that's a change on the Cooley team here at half time. So let's see now if Cian Connor can direct this one on target. Deadly accurate in the first half, of course. Doesn't miss very many of these opportunities. Taking this one off the ground. Just confirmation of that over the Tannoy, that change. Here is Connor now, left-footed, and makes no mistake with it. First score of the second half, and it comes from that man, Cian Connor again.
Yeah, again, just got into a 4 in it now, Colin. The Kevins really need to, I think, get a wee bit of get the grips to their kick out here. They're after losing the first 2 in the second half, and again they've lost the break here against their own kick out, and it's important that they get the grips out around the middle of the field. They haven't went into the opposition 45 yet. I think we're
2 or 3 minutes in,
and they haven't got out of their own half, and it's a very
here could be a goal opportunity. A couple of players trying to get their foot on this ball. It's bobbling around, dangerous here. It's still the Cooley man trying to get his toe on it. Referee awards the free out. Might well have been the substitute with that opportunity. I think it might have been Cian Murphy trying to get his foot on that ball, but they've given away the free. Cooley. Now St. Kevin's coming out of defence with it, played in towards the centre. Man in possession now is Harry Butterley again. St. Kevin's now looking to pick it up. They need scores. They're 4 points in arrears here. And a spot of bother once more. Keelan Maher now in possession. Keelan Maher now just holding it up. So Kevin's still have it now again with Evan Maher, another of the Maher brothers. All played down towards this corner. Tom Matthews trying desperately to keep this one in play, but that one has too much on it, and it's gone for a wide. Wasted opportunity there for the Kevins. And Cooley taking this quick free out a little bit too quickly. It's going to have to be taken again, indeed, by Niall Brady. So 1 goal and 8 to 1 goal and 4. Taken short by Niall Brady. Ball played into space. Picking it up now, it's Ronan McBride. Ronan McBride now flicking that ball forward, gets the return pass. Now it's with Paul Brennan. Near side of the field it comes to Gerard Hanlon. Gerard Hanlon now has a look up, playing that ball down towards the corner. And it is the corner forward. It's Callum O'Hanlon, the goal scorer from earlier on, now has it. Playing that ball in towards the centre. Races past a couple of bodies, but it's Cooley man in possession. Blocked down well. Comes back out though. Danger not averted as far as the Kevins are concerned. Here's Cian Connor, plays that one low in. A couple of feet on that ball, and it's been fouled by the Cooley man. It's going to be a free out. A free out for the Kevins, taken quickly by Evan Maher back there. So the Kevins with that free, flicked out towards that far side of the field. Coming forward with it now, down towards the corner. Sean Reynolds trying to get his hands on that ball, and it drops again. Well, there is a foul there. Referee blows his whistle, and it's going to be a free for St. Kevin's. Referee with the notebook out. This could be a second yellow card of the afternoon. Man, it's Cormac Malone being spoken to, and it's a yellow card for the Cooley midfielder. And now we're ready to go again with this free for St. Kevin's. They trailed by 4 points. Ball played up over the 45-metre line, far side of the field. Man who has it is Tom Matthews. Ball now along the ground. Kevins are eventually going to get their free to try to play the advantage. Sean Reynolds kept running with the ball, but it's not going to count. He has to throw it back, and the free has to be taken. And it's going to be that man, Harry Butterley, who's going to take this one on. So it's over on the right hand side this time. His team trailing with 5.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's 1 goal and 8 to 1 goal and 4 at the moment. It looks as if the Murray Cup will be heading out Ballymac direction and into the peninsula later on. But still, anything possible, as we saw yesterday in that junior final. The late drama. Here's Harry Butterley floating it in, and it goes off over everybody's heads, and it goes down as another wide. So Harry's missed a couple of those opportunities, and in this sort of, with the scoreline the way it is, the Kevins can't afford to be missing too many chances like that.
No, and Harry definitely has the distance in those, Colin, and in the first half as well he's missed 2 or 3. So look, hopefully they don't come down to rue those chances at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, another sideline ball here, this time to the Kevins in front of the Cooley dugout, taken left-footed, played into space, 2 players jostling for it. Referee blows his whistle. The foul committed, given away by Cathal Malone. It's going to be a free in. Something has been said. The referee's going to bring the ball forward. And this now more advantageous even now for the Kevins. And Harry Butterley, is he going to fancy it on this occasion? Well, he's not running towards the ball. It might be left to somebody else. It is going to be left to not Harry Butterley on this occasion, and it is going to be Tom Matthews that's going to take it on. So Matthews now doesn't seem to be any worse for wear after that hand injury, after that bit of treatment he got before half time. Here he comes now, sizing it up from his hands, right footed from Matthews, sending it in and sending it over the crossbar. So it's one back for the Kevins, and it's Tom Matthews who gets it. It makes it 1-8 to 1-5.
Yeah, the little kicking routine seemed to be working, Colin. I think we're seeing that an awful lot now in footballers, that they have a little kicking routine before they go and hit a dead ball. But look, again, we speak about it. We spoke about it earlier on in the match as well. 3 points in it, and how one score game is in a goal. So look, game's all to play for, and the Kevins just need to keep the pressure on Cooley here.
Now Cooley have won a free just inside their own 65. Going to be taken short through the centre. So Kickham's now coming on the attack, just struggling to get their hands on it here, try to retain it. Eventually there, Conor McAviney got a touch on it. So Cooley now coming up over halfway. It's with Ronan McBride this time. Ronan McBride now still soloing forward, goes for the pass. Man looking for his keen Conor with that left boot of his down towards the corner. Callum O'Hanlon has made the run. He's going to keep it in play, trying to turn his man now. Callum O'Hanlon still holding it up. Still O'Hanlon now looking for options. Thought about going for the pass. He's going to take on the score himself though. It's going to drop dangerously in, going to fall short, and it's a hand on it. And has it gone into the back of the net? It has now. Second time of asking, and it's in the back of the net. And Cooley have got another goal, and that could be absolutely crucial. The man who has got it is Dylan Quinn with the final touch. Dylan Quinn with the goal for Cooley, their second one of the afternoon. It now makes it 2-5 to 1-8. So soon after the Kevins getting a score at the other end, Cooley go up the field. The testing ball that was sent in, a very difficult one to gauge for the goalkeeper and the Kevins defence, and it was Dylan Quinn, the man at the end of it all, who managed to find the back of the net. And here come Cooley once more, looking for another score. It's Endo O'Neill again, goes for the point, and Endo O'Neill, and it's just pulled left and wide on this occasion. But Dylan Quinn, 9 minutes into the second half, has given Cooley now 2 goals and 8 points to 1-5 advantage. It's going to be even more difficult now for the Kevins to respond after this. Goals win games, we know how crucial they are, and that one from Dylan Quinn, well, that will certainly do Cooley the world of good at this stage of the game, Carol. Yeah,
big hammer blow there, Colin. I think the Kevins-Michaels combination will be extremely disappointed conceding that one. I think the goalkeeper will be extremely disappointed, but the game's not over, definitely not. But then the Kevins need to come back. They need to come back now, nice and strong. And Tom Matthews just slots a mark over the bar. Yeah,
so that's Tom Matthews, his second free of the afternoon. That's one from a mark. Tom Matthews makes it now 2-8 to 1-6. Well, it's the Kevins now really putting it up to them now. The concession of that second goal, with just over 10 minutes gone in the second half, and the kick about to be taken out by Niall Brady. So it's certainly increased the chances of Cooley coming away with the victory out of this one, building on those under 16 and under 17 successes of recent years. And that kick from Niall Brady, not well directed. It goes out of play. Ball breaking now far side the field, and Tom Matthews now has it. Now it's really putting it up. The likes of Matthews and Butterley really have to stand up to it now and try to get it. Here's young Reynolds, Sean Reynolds, trying to work himself into a scoring position, goes to ground, and Reynolds gets the free. So the Kevins now have an opportunity of pulling another score back for themselves. Will it be Butterley or will it be Matthews that's going to take this one on? I think it's going to be Harry Butterley on this occasion. It is Butterley. So picking the ball up, and Butterley now, well, can he land this one and bring it back to a 4-point game? So Butterley now just inside the 20-metre line, connects with it well. And that's a nice point from Harry Butterley. So the last 2 scores now have gone the Kevins' way, 2-8 to 1-7. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Still a long way to go in this game, but Cooley will feel perhaps that second goal will spur them on a bit and perhaps prove the launch pad to go on and win this game. But we saw in the first half the way the Kevins were able to come back into it after giving away the first 5 scores in the opening 7 minutes of the game. So let's not just write them off prematurely. That ball played into the path of Tom Matthews, but the Cooley defender in ahead of him. Matthews though gathers it up, that loose ball, no free, so the referee. Cooley not happy with that decision. Play continues though. Kevin's come in the attack again. Man in a bit of space here is Harry Butterley, pressing it inside. Could be a chance on here. 2 players going for it. It's with Jamie Dornan, and Dornan is the back of the net, and it's a goal, and it's Dornan.
What a finish.
A hell of a finish. Absolute, what a finish.
From the most obscure angles, Colin.
And it was Jamie Dornan.
Yeah, that's a fantastic goal, and you have to commend Cameron Maher from his Bushton run up. He broke the line, received the ball off the shoulder, and with an excellent fisted pass. But what a finish from Dornan on his left foot. Extremely, brilliant finish on the left foot, and into the side of the net.
Absolutely tremendous finish from Jamie Dornan, the only Mitchell's man in the starting 15, and he's buried it to the back of the net. So it certainly is game on again. We mentioned the effect goals will have in this game. Could Cooley go on, kick on after getting their goal? The answer is certainly no, they haven't. They haven't been able to do it, and they've conceded now a 1-2 without reply since that Dylan Quinn goal, and now it's back to a 1-point game, 2-8 to 2-7. There's a Cooley man in a bit of trouble and a bit of agony here. Whatever knock he picked up close to his own goal. And he's up on his feet now. I think it might be the midfielder. It's actually, looks like, I think it's Paul Brennan, in fact.
It's interesting, you see Noel Hand talking to his linesman there.
Something may have happened after the ball found the back of the net. Well, Noel Hand... Is he calling? Is he looking for? He's looking for a number here. He's looking for Cormac Rogers. And let's see now if there's going to be any action taken by Noel Hand. Whatever happened in there around the edge of the square. So the referee is going to at least, I think, show a card here to Cormac Rogers. Well, what colour will the card be? That's the question. It is a yellow card for Cormac Rogers following that incident. And it was the man that was brought down or involved in that, Paul Brennan. So play continues then, and it is only a 1-point game. So Cooley have surrendered that decent lead they have arising out of the second goal they got, and now the Kevins, with again another spring in their step, they're coming with a second wind with that goal from young Jamie Dornan. Ball now in the possession of Harry Butterley. Harry Butterley now plays it up towards Gerard, towards Sean Reynolds. Reynolds now trying to take on his man. Gets around a couple of challenges. Still Reynolds going forward, looking to swing it in and over the crossbar. And Reynolds, deadly accurate, superb point from Sean Reynolds out on that right hand side. And Sean Reynolds puts it over the crossbar. And now the Kevins, Michaels, the supporters, the few that are here, are certainly making their voices heard and their presence felt. It's a draw match, 2-8 to 2-8. How quickly the game has turned around once again. So it's for the second time we have parity in this match. Now, who will kick on from here, I wonder? Or are we in for a real grandstand finish? Probably. Well, that's the way it's looking now at this stage. The Kevins just refusing to throw in the towel. All credit to them. They've battled their way back. They've got the last 4 scores, a goal and 3 without reply. Now on the far side of the field, what's happening over there? Cooley look as if they have a sideline ball they have, and it's going to be taken by Enda O'Neill. But Cooley now have to try and reorganise themselves and try to regroup, but the stuffing has been knocked out of them a bit with the concession of those few scores, the goal included. Now let's see what happens from this sideline ball. Cooley now coming on the attack. It's with Cormac Malone. Inside it goes back to Enda O'Neill. Enda O'Neill now flicks it forward. A sub on, I think it's 19, Darren McDade is going to come in very shortly. Now Ronan McBride now in possession, trying to work himself into a scoring position, but forced to go in towards the middle with it. Now it's with that man Keane Connor again. Keane Connor, back out it comes. St Kevin's now trying again just to frustrate the opposition, trying to close down the angles. It's Enda O'Neill once more, again forging through, uses man in the overlap. That's Gerard Hanlon. Hanlon now fisting it back once more to Ronan McBride. McBride is a look up, goes for the pass inside, gets the return. Still McBride though. The angle pretty difficult from here. They just can't find a bit of a space here to try and walk it closer to goal. Man now on this near side is Michael John Hanlon. Michael John Hanlon goes for the pass. It goes to Enda O'Neill now. Enda O'Neill now across the face of goal. It comes. Flick comes on it. Oh, it's to the back of the net. And it is the full forward Dylan Quinn who's got a touch on it. It came across and Dylan Quinn fisted it to the back of the net. It's his second goal of the afternoon, and it's Dylan Quinn who has got the goal. The ball was sent across and no Kevin's player picking up on it, and there was Dylan Quinn putting his fist out and putting it into the back of the net, into the top corner, and Dylan Quinn with his second goal of the afternoon. Well, after drawing level, there's a yellow card now to Enda O'Neill, and there is the whistle for the second water break. But Dylan Quinn with the Tord Cooley goal, 3 goals and 8 to 2 goals and 8. So Cooley with their advantage back now. Well, it's difficult almost to keep up with it. The goals flying in, the scores going over us, particularly the Kevin scores in the last few minutes. But now Cooley have responded with a goal of their own. Dylan Quinn, question is, can they retain the advantage now, disadvantage for the final quarter, Carol?
I think the Kevins Michaels will be bitterly disappointed, Colin. They have to work. They're working so hard to get themselves back into the game, and they're giving away then probably definitely, you know, an easy enough goal, to be fair. And they have, you know, they're doing so well. They work themselves back into the game. So look, this is the second time they've come back, so a third time definitely isn't out of the question. The game's still on, there's still a lot of time left in this game, and they'll be extremely disappointed with that, but feel extremely still in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. We can hear Owen O'Neill down in front of us issuing some serious instructions here to his players. He won't be entirely happy the way his team have allowed their lead slip, but there seems to be a real determination here to go out now and finish the job off in the final quarter. But just how significant might that Dylan Quinn goal be, his second of this second half, coming after 17 minutes of play? So there's 12 minutes or so left for the Kevins to try and pull this one from the fire. They're going to have to do it all over again now and come from behind after to salvage this one.
Number 4, Ian Arnold.
And Ian Arnold is the latest player coming off, and it is, I think, Darragh McDade is the man that's coming in. And likewise now, plenty of noise coming from that far side. The management of the Kevins trying to galvanise their players now for the closing stages, so all to play for, but there's still only a kick of the ball between them, and you can't write off the Kevins just yet, because it's only one score between them. But as Carol mentioned, they will be disappointed, having done so well to get themselves level for the second time in this game, and then throwing away that advantage soon after. And that was a soft enough goal to give away, but credit to Dylan Quinn. He made the most of his opportunity. A yellow card has just been shown to the Keelan McMullen, the Kevins goalkeeper. Now tries to pick out one of his men, and he finds Keelan Marr. Keelan Marr now rounds the challenge, coming forward with it, and O'Neill trying to close him down. In towards the middle now it comes to Jamie Dornan, the goal scorer from earlier on. Still Jamie Dornan now, left footed, goes for that's an intelligent pass, picking out Harry Butterley. Harry Butterley now making the charge forward. Now he's taking this one. He's going to send it in dangerously. That's a good looking ball in towards Tom Matthews has it. Tom Matthews now, man in the overlap. Could be a chance of a goal. Another good save by Niall Brady. Straight at the goalkeeper though. Goal chance going and begging there for the Kevins, but Niall Brady stood his ground, did his job well, and he had to do to keep that one out. And now Cooley have it with Michael John Hanlon. Man in space here is Enda O'Neill. The tempo of the game now beginning to pick up as well. Enda O'Neill plays that ball into space. That's a good looking ball. A couple of Cooley players now moving forward for this one, and it's a promising build up. Here's Enda O'Neill on it once more inside the 45-metre line. He goes for the score, floats it in, and that one is gone right and wide from Enda O'Neill. So it stays 3 goals and 8 to 2 goals and 8. Just for a second though, we almost had another goal. We almost had a 6th goal, Carol. That would certainly have put the cat among the pigeons, wouldn't it?
That was a big chance, Colin. Big chance. But it just goes to show that the Kevins Michaels are rough for this game. They're not laying down, and they have the quality to cut Cooley open.
Yes, and the mark call at the centre of the field. Was that a push? Tom Matthews in on this one. There's a loose man, one loose man, but it's 2 against 1 in the end, and it's easily cut out in the end by the Cooley defence. That ball flicked out, and picking it up now is Paul Brennan. There's Tom Matthews initially at one possession, giving chase after this one once more. Ball played in towards the centre. Cooley now building from the back. Man looking for it now on this near side of the field. It's Enda O'Neill once again. He's covering a lot of ground, Enda O'Neill. 21 minutes almost gone in the second half. He gets the return pass, sending that ball into space, and it's Callum O'Hanlon in ahead of his man, trying to turn his man. Callum O'Hanlon now running towards goal. What can you do with this one? Goes for the effort. Saved by the goalkeeper, and it's in the back of the net, and it's Dylan Quinn again. The goalkeeper has spilled it, and Dylan Quinn, the shot coming in, the goalkeeper couldn't hold on to it, and that's Dylan Quinn once again. Well, he's really turning into a goal poacher supreme scream in this second half. That's his third goal of the second half. It now makes it 4 goals and 8 to 2 goals and 8, and maybe that goal now may just be enough to seal the deal for Cooley. 21 minutes gone, but again it was a bad goal for the Kevins to give away. Callum O'Hanlon with the initial shot, but the goalkeeper didn't manage to catch it cleanly. It rebounded out, and there was Dylan Quinn on the edge of the square from close range, the easiest of tasks, to put it into the back of the net. Now the Kevins coming in the attack. They know the time is starting to run out of them now as well. They have 8.5 minutes to try and pull this one from the fire, but it's looking perhaps a little bit unlikely now at this stage with the concession of that fourth goal. 4 goals and 8 to 2 goals and 8. It's asking a lot here, the Kevins. Can they respond now, perhaps, with another goal of their own? That ball sent long by Harry Butterley. That one sent in. Tom Matthews now is getting ahead of his man. Now can he find the back of the net? Oh, and it's blocked again by the Cooley defence. Comes back and it's rolled out and it's right and wide. Oh, another chance of a goal. It's raining goals here at the moment. But Cooley, we've had 6 goals, so 7 goals so far. Aaron Dunn, the man with the opportunity there on that occasion. Aaron Dunn, but his effort going right and wide. 22 minutes gone in the second half. It stays 4 goals and 8 to 2 goals and 8, and it's going to be this kick out from Niall Brady. Well, Kevins are not giving up on it here, Carol, but that's I
think Noel Hann has just blown Niall Brady up for taking too long in his kick out, and look, 2 massive goal chances there, Colin, and it's a draw game again, so the Kevins just need to be a wee bit more prolific, and there's loads of time left.
Sean Reynolds with this opportunity. The ball though bobbling around. Niall Brady off his goal line quickly, trying to get this one out. And Cooley living dangerously in defence here, which is still sense perhaps there is more. Maybe there is another goal in the Kevins. They've had a couple of opportunities now. Here's Endo O'Neill now, again getting through a serious amount of work into the path of Callum O'Hanlon. And again he's causing a lot of problem for his marker. Sends this one in. That's looking good. Left footed from Callum O'Hanlon. That's an excellent score from Callum O'Hanlon. A great ball played in, and he's causing a lot of trouble there. He's getting in ahead of his man Callum O'Hanlon and deliver the goods there over the crossbar. And the referee has blown his whistle. There's another change coming. It's now 4 goals and 9 to 2 goals and 8. That's a gap now, Cooley, as long as they keep the scoreboard ticking over. And that change being made, it's Brendan Sadler, the man that's coming off. And Josh McArdle Lynch of the Kevins club is coming in. So from that kick out now, and Caelan McMullen getting on with it quickly, and the Kevins were looking for play to continue there, but the referee has blown his whistle. It's Harry Butterley that's going to take the free, sending it long. Tom Matthews, one of the players underneath this one. That has it gone out of play. It has been signalled wide by the umpire, so that's not going to count. It's not going to stay in play. It's going to be a kick out instead to Niall Brady. Niall Brady, well, he'd want to get on with this kick a little bit quicker because he gave away possession. That ball was hopped a few minutes ago. He was too slow with his kick out. Goes for a faster one out this time though. It's Cian Connor running into a challenge. A little bit hasty there, but a challenge from the Kevins man, that being Cormac Rogers. Cian Connor gets the free. Cooley now coming on the attack. So we have about 5.5 minutes of normal time to go. Cooley's match, you'd have to say, to lose at this stage. Kevin's trying desperately to get the ball back, and maybe a little bit over. So, well, the Cooley man gives away the free, and it's going to be a free. Harry Butterley taking it quickly, sending that up towards Tom Matthews, and again gets ahead of his man, flicks it back. Could be a scoring chance on here of a point, and this one is sent in. It is Sean Reynolds who has the chance, and or the substitute. It's Josh McArdle, in fact, who gets the point. Josh McArdle Lynch, his first involvement. There's a man down on the ground here, a Kevin's man, but the point does count, and it's Josh McArdle, the substitute, who has got it. That makes it now 4 goals and 9 to 2 goals and 9. So 2 clear goals between the teams. Tom Matthews is the man, I think, that's down. Maybe a little bit of cramp as well, setting in the late stages of the game. So under 5 minutes to go. Number 17 coming in shortly for Cooley. That's Pierce Hume. Another player who's been fairly prominent in recent years at underage level, Pierce Hume. Tom Matthews down again. That hand injury earlier. Now it's a foot injury. I'm not too sure whether he's going to be able to continue. It looks like his ankle is giving him a spot of bother. But 2 clear goals between the teams here, Carl. Unless we're in for real late drama here with 5 minutes or so to go. Do you see Cooley seeing it out now at this late stage of the game?
Look, you'd have to say that Cooley has to see this out at this stage. You'd be bitterly disappointed not to see the game out up by 2 goals. But again, Colin, it's the Kevins get a goal and you genuinely don't know. So look, it's still all to play for. But like I said, Cooley will be bitterly disappointed not to see this one out at this stage. They've put in a sort of professional performance, if you like, and Dylan Quinn is definitely the player of the game for them.
Yeah, well, Dylan Quinn with those 3 second half goals. Look at this late stage now that those goals will go a long way in deciding this issue. It hasn't been perfect from Cooley, certainly not at all perfect, but in patches it has been fairly good. They'll be a bit disappointed the way they let the Kevins back into it at various occasions, but if they end up with the trophy at the end of it, that's not going to count for very much, and Cooley will be absolutely thrilled if they go on and see out this game now and land that Larry Murray Cup. That free won by Cooley down towards that corner. Callum O'Hanlon trying to get underneath this one, but the Kevins defender, being Daniel O'Connell, gets his free, pushing the back. Now Kevin's moving this one. They have to try and walk this one up as quickly as they can, because now they've only 3 minutes left to rescue this game, whenever injury time has to be played. Ball played in towards the centre. Evan Marr in possession, rounds the challenge. Still Marr now goes for the long one, left footed. Tom Matthews underneath this one. Oh, that's a great catch. That's a tremendous catch by the Cooley defence, sent out towards this near side of the field. They're moving it fast now. It's with Gerard Hanlon in towards the middle. Ball played forward. Cooley now. Possession, all important here is Gerard Hanlon once more. Man in space is Cian Connor. Cian Connor now, another score at this stage will surely wrap it up, make it a 7-point game, and they have the free as well. Cooley, Cian Connor brought to ground by Aaron Dunn, and that's going to be a free in for Cooley. This will all suit them very nicely. Just settle it down. Johnny McGee is coming in, the Stabanon man, change on the Kevins-Michaels combination. And another change, I think, coming as well on the Cooley team very shortly. And we'll see.
On the Cooley team, number 17, Pierce Hume, will replace number 9, Aaron Collins.
Now, here we go with this free, and it's tapped over the crossbar by Enda O'Neill. Enda O'Neill with the point for Cooley. And that now makes it 4 goals and 10 to 2 goals and 9. And that score arriving after almost 29 minutes of play. And it looks as if Thomas McCarra is coming back in for Cooley in the late stages of this game. We have now almost 29 minutes gone. So Cooley on the verge now of what would be an 8th minor championship title for the club, going back to the first one, 1968. Ball played into the path now of the substitute Pierce Hume, and just runs out. The ball runs out of play. It's going to be a kick out for the Kevins with 29 minutes gone in the second half. That ball, that kick out taken short by Caelan McMullen, finding Daniel O'Connell. Daniel O'Connell now coming forward with it, rides the challenge, but that was referee tried to play the advantage. A couple of players bumping into each other. Play is called back. It's going to be a free now to be taken by Harry Butterley. So Harry Butterley now goes for the short run across the other side of the field, but now it's looking all forlorn for the Midloud side, because it's looking like a defeat when they got it back to parity twice in the first half and once in the second half. It looked as if we really had a real game on our hands. Harry Butterley looks to have picked up a knock as he kicked that ball, and Cooley defence again looking fairly solid there under that ball that came in, and they get the free out as well. But yeah, we have a half an hour gone now. The 30-minute mark has been reached. We're into the first minute of injury time, and Cooley Kickham's are going to be picking up the trophy in the next few minutes. They're going to be the first winners of the day here on this lovely sunny Sunday afternoon in Darver. The senior final coming up later on from 4:30. The Joe Ward Cup up for grabs. Naomh Martin against RD St Mary's. Now it's Paul Brennan in possession. He goes down with a knock as well. That's cramp, I think. Back with Niall Brady. We're just really playing out now the last few minutes of this game. But Cooley Kickham's are about to celebrate a minor victory. It's been a difficult few seasons for them, of course, at senior level, at adult level, I should say, at intermediate championship, of course. And but at least this will certainly give them a bit of a lift now. And Cuchulainn Gaels, remember, as well, because they are represented in this panel. Yellow card there being flashed by Noel Hand. A couple of subs being warmed up here by Cooley down in front of us. 31 minutes played in this second half. That kick comes in. It's dealt with on this occasion by the Kevins, but we're really just now playing out the last couple of moments. And now it's with Jamie Dornan. Jamie Dornan, his goal earlier on, bringing the Kevins right back into it. We thought at that stage that it was going to be a grandstand finish that was in prospect, but it hasn't quite transpired like that. Here's Harry Butterley trying to break his way through that Cooley defence. Still Harry Butterley, inside pass. Could be a chance on here now. That one is drilled badly wide. Cameron Maher with the opportunity, but that's well off target. And here's the change, Thomas McCarroll. And that probably be the last where there's a change in the Kevins team as well. We played almost 2 minutes of injury time. 4 goals and 10 to 2 goals and 9.
20.
And coming in for the Kevins, it's their number 20. It's Keane Martin, another of the Kevins players. That short kick out coming from Niall Brady in towards the centre. Looking for the pass here, the wing back. Well, it's Niall Brady who gets receipt of that ball once again, trying to work himself out of trouble. There's Ronan McBride down along. That's not a good clearance though. It finds its way as far as Aaron Dunn breaks up that Cooley move. Here's Harry Butterley once again, plays it across the centre. Ian Arnold looking to come back in again as well. Another of the players who was replaced a little bit earlier on. And that ball is dropped for a moment there by Sean Reynolds, but Kevin's managed to retain possession. Trying to break through here was Cormac Rogers. Referee blows his whistle. It's going to be a free in here for the Kevins Michaels, but it's going to be a Cooley victory. Inside now the 3rd minute of injury time. This could well be the last action of the game, and it's Tom Matthews. It looks as if the player that's placing this ball on the ground, it's Harry Butterley, I think, in fact. So last chance of a score perhaps here. Harry Butterley sends this one in and puts it over the crossbar. Harry Butterley with his late point, 3 minutes into injury time. That makes it now 4 goals and 10 for Cooley, 2 goals and 10 to St Kevin's. The 2 clear goals separating the teams. It's now at the discretion of referee Noel Hand. Might be a little bit more to play though. Ball now breaking near side of the field. St Kevin's still going forward. Here's Aaron Dunn. Not the best of passes. The substitute though getting his toe underneath it. That's Josh McCardle Lynch. Trying desperately now to pick it up. Back it goes now for St Kevin's. It's picked up by Daniel O'Connell this time. Long delivery in. Goes over a couple of heads, and again the Cooley defence dealing with that one fairly ably. Near side of the field. And Cooley snuffing it out. Now building out a defence once more. Here's Keane Connor sending that ball. It was Gerald Hanlon, in fact. That's another good looking ball towards it. Dylan Quinn who has it now. That hat-trick goal score from earlier. Long ball in. There's a man in space. Could be a chance on here for the substitute, and that is Pierce Hume. And Pierce Hume has his effort blocked, comes back out, and it's gone for a 45. Takes a deflection. So almost up here, Carl. We've almost 5 minutes of injury time played, and Cooley and Cuchulainn Gaels can get ready to celebrate victory. The Larry Murray Cup will be heading to the Peninsula later on this evening, and I suppose in the balance of play, a merited victory, would you say, for the men from the Peninsula?
You probably, definitely the more clinical team, Colin. Definitely the more clinical team, and you know, they feel a small bit for St Kevin's. St Michael's, they did have a lot of play. A lot of possession, a lot of ball in the game, but I think Cooley were just. I think you look at the age profile of some of the guys, and a lot of the Cooley lads are in their last year of minor, and possibly that might have stood to them. But you can't take it away from Dylan Quinn. You know, hat-trick hero in the second half, and definitely as you spoke about, Cathal McKenna and a few other guys.
Yeah, and there is the full-time whistle. Keane Connor with that last gasp free. 5 minutes into injury time, and that puts the icing on the cake for Cooley, and you can see them celebrating, and why not? Great occasion for these young fellas from Cooley Cuchulainn Gaels. They've wrapped up the victory. They've won it with a bit to spare in the end as well. 4 goals and 11 to 2 goals and 10. That's how it's finished here, with that late score from Cian O'Connor. And Cooley, building on all the promise that they've shown with under 16, under 17 success in the last couple of years, and now they've sealed it at underage level with this minor victory. It wasn't entirely straightforward, Carol, if you look back, and the couple of occasions that the Kevins drew level, but just when it looked as if they were about to mount a challenge perhaps to go and win the game, they conceded a couple of bad scores, goals in particular.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And look, the Michaels, the Kevins and Michaels combination there, most of the guys from the Kevins will they can take great pride of that performance, and just be disappointed, I suppose, that on the day that Cooley probably scored maybe 2 or 3 soft enough goals after working so hard to get back into the game. But look, like you said, Colm, I think look at the balance of play. Cooley probably deserved to lift the trophy, and the standout performances from the likes of Dylan Quinn and Cian Connor and Enda O'Neill is fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Cooley will be presented with the cup in the next few minutes. It'll be a different sort of presentation. There'll be no spectators allowed in and around the pitch area. We'll have that presentation for you in the next few minutes. Our cameraman Joe Finnegan now making his way over towards the presentation area. Yes, but just looking back on the second half, at half time the Kevins were the Cooley leading at the break 1-7 to 1-4, but the second half, Dylan Quinn's goal early on, 9 minutes in, opened up that lead for themselves 2-8 to 1-5 at that stage of the game. But then the Kevins coming right back into it, and that sublime goal really from Jamie Dornan from a difficult angle found the back of the net, and that made it a 1-point game at that stage. Sean Reynolds then making a draw match, 2 goals and 8 apiece, and then we had Dylan Quinn with those back-to-back goals and 17 minutes, that fisted effort, and then following up then 4 minutes later with his third goal to make it 4-8 to 2-8. And really that was just after that, it was asking just too much of the Kevins combination to come back into it, and it was indeed the Cooley men, the Cooley Cuchulainn Gaels men, who went on and saw out the game, and they got the last score through Cian O'Connor. So we'll have the man of the match announcement in the next few minutes as well. A number of contenders, Carol. You'd obviously be looking at Cooley Cuchulainn Gaels players. Dylan Quinn for his goals, Enda O'Neill got through an awful lot of work. Cian Connor, of course, a huge impression as well in the game with those early points to settle his team down, and of course defensively as well, they were pretty strong when they needed to be in the closing minutes.
Yeah, no, defensively you look at the likes of Paul Brennan, who went down with cramp late on, and MJ Hanlon, who dug in really, really deep, and is I think he bleeds green and gold. He loves Cooley, loves his club, and lucky enough to coach MJ as well, and a lot of these guys. But for me, I think look, I suppose we mentioned it a few times, Colm, and how important goals are in games, and whether they're tap-ins, whether they're top corner or whatever they are, you have to be in the right place at the right time, and I think you can't look past Dylan Quinn, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, well, those 3 goals going a huge way in deciding the issue here, and the presentation now will be made in the next few minutes over on the clubhouse side. So a big congratulations to Cooley Kickham's. They're our first winners here of the day here on County Final Day. They're about to pick up the Larry Murray Cup, and there will be, I'm sure, be some celebrations in the Cooley and Cuchulainn clubs a little bit later on this evening. A fantastic day for these youngsters, a little bit of a different occasion than normal. They would have been used to minor final days, the crowds coming in of course for the senior final, and a big occasion, and we also have the bands present as well for on County Final Day, but none of that this year under the present circumstances. But Cooley will not be complaining. They've got their hands on the trophy. It's minor medals for all these lads. Cooley Cuchulainn Gaels are the minor football champions for 2020. The final score here as we wrap up. A big thanks to Shane Cunningham and Joe Finnegan, our cameramen, and Carl O'Connor on co-commentary, and I think we'll be going down pitch side very shortly now for that presentation to the winning Cooley Cuchulainn Gaels captain.
representing them. Thank you very much for your generous support and your continued support throughout the campaign. Thank you. I want to thank the Darver Committee for having everything ready for us here today. The pitch looks fantastic. I want to thank Bob Donnelly, Peter Fitzpatrick, and the CC Committee for helping us out. Can I also thank Noel Hand, referee today, his linesmen and umpires, and thank you very much for refereeing a very good game. Thank you. It's just a personal thanks to the Minor Board Committee for all the hard work that we put in this year. We managed to get there, and I want to also pay a personal thanks to Anthony Briscoe, the Secretary of the Minor Board. Thank you, Anthony. To the game itself, it's a fitting final for what is our last under-18 championship final. Next year, we now move to under-17. Two fine teams playing a very sporting game, and I want to have commiserations for the Michael St. Kevin's. You've played a fantastic game, you're a very strong team, and it just didn't happen for you today. You were well trained, well coached, and it's very unfortunate. And keep playing football, lads, that's the main thing. Go back to your clubs, hold your heads up high, and you'll go and play senior football from after this. Well done, lads. To Cooley Kickham's, Cuchulainn Gales. I have to say, I've watched this team grow this last longer 4 or 5 years, and you're just getting stronger and stronger. You won the under-16 2 years ago, and you came back, and you played the exact same football today that you did 2 years ago. You've got to listen to your coaches, you're a good strong bunch of lads, and fair play to you. The exhibition of kicking you gave in the first 10-15 minutes, you wouldn't see in any county final. Very, very well played, Cooley Kickham's, Cuchulainn Gales. Very well done. We're now going to do Man of Match Award, and I'm going to call Eamon Doyle to say a few words.
Thanks. Thank you very much. On behalf of LMFM Radio, we're delighted to be here today and to be involved in Louth GAA and underage football. Smashing game today in beautiful conditions. I suppose it's just a pity that it couldn't have been played with a lot more people here today, but very enjoyable. I suppose any player that scores 3 goals in one game is deserved of the Man of the Match award. His all-round play was excellent, certainly great full forward, very skillful on the ball, man of the match. Number 14, Colin Quinn, is that right? Yeah? Well done.
Don't sub.
So, without any further ado, and after a 14-year wait, can I have the captain, with 2 captains, with Paul Brennan from Cuchulainn Gales and Aaron Carlin from Cooley Kickham's.
Yeah, the mic, yeah.
First of all, thanks to the Louth County Board for the field and the referees and the umpires and linesmen. I think it's the best nick I've ever seen this fielding, and thanks to them, and thanks to putting it on the telly. Everyone at home that couldn't be here got to see it. That was great. And thanks to the Kevins These are a good outfit. We were always hoping to get to this final, and we never thought we'd be meeting yous. So big up season that. 3 cheers for the Kevins. Hip hip. Hooray. Hip hip. Hooray. Hip hip. Hooray.
I'd like to just thank Cooley for taking us to meet men on. Like, it wasn't an easy job, but you did it anyway. And I'd like to thank Colette, the managers. There's not much more, the parents, anybody you talk us. Thank you. Jamie Farrell as well. Not much more I can say. Thank you.
Lads, you put up. Okay, put it up, put it up. Hey, guys.
Right.